still retired is because I'm looking at the big picture of spending and lifestyle benefits instead of just the tiny picture of the cost of gas.
Meet Pete Adeney, popularly known as Mr. Money Mustache. Born in Canada in 1975, an ordinary office worker, he retired as a software engineer when he was 30 years old, with an annual salary of $67,000. Not $100,000 or $1 million, but $67,000 annual income. Pete has completely destroyed the popular belief that you have to make lots of money to retire. He didn't hustle very hard. He didn't try to make lots of money. He simply saved like his life depended on it and invested strategically to retire early. In this video, we will delve into Pete's daily money habits, mindset, values, and his 5 assets. We will also share money habits he completely avoids. Daily money habits. Frugal. Pete states that he saves 50% of his income. He claims that this doesn't mean he's cheap, as being frugal differs from being cheap. For Pete, frugality is about going for an alternative and affordable option. For instance, he wouldn't buy a cup of coffee that cost anywhere from $1.50 to $5. He buys coffee beans, which would cost around the same amount per pound, and makes his coffee himself. All DIY.
Having a bedroom go from bland to usable is already going to be a multi-$1,000 improvement. So that's a huge return on the investment.
Rather than spend thousands of dollars to fill his kitchen with IKEA, he got to work. Coupled with used materials he got on Craigslist, Pete saved thousands of dollars building his kitchen himself. Another of his daily habits is eating very healthily, and you won't believe why. He doesn't have premium health insurance. He uses something called DPC, meaning direct primary care. This means having a direct relationship with your doctor for a monthly subscription, which costs around $100. In exchange, he gets unlimited access to elite and personalized medicine for the majority of his medical needs. As long as he doesn't need surgery, he is covered. Not obsessing with cars. Pete does own a car for major needs like taking his family camping and all, but he mostly commutes using a bike, an electric one, making it a very efficient way to save on the ever-rising gas cost. His minimal obsession with cars goes beyond saving on gas. He believes that when people rely on cars less, in his words, we are eliminating a bit of pollution or a few traffic jams or car crashes. No, this is about far richer, healthier, and most importantly, more fun living for everyone. He says with fewer cars, there is a $20,000 life boost yearly per person, which amounts to millions saved in a lifetime. He further adds that this will boost the wealth of the United States alone by $7 trillion per year. Pete's values. As you know now, Pete is frugal, but this doesn't mean he is not at his happiest. He doesn't equate luxurious living to happiness or being successful. This means he doesn't see having lots of money as the way to freedom. When you look back to the fact that he retired on $67,000 salary, this makes a lot of sense. He values experience, which is cheaper than dining out in a super expensive restaurant. And this is not only because he's trying to save, the other reason is because it's more satisfying to him and his family. He completely accepts the notion that you can be happy with any level of spending. He equates happiness to meeting his core needs, which in some cases cost nothing. For instance, if you aspire to good health, rather than working with a personal trainer for $2,500 a month, you can get used barbells on Craigslist at $100. While both took on different routes, he indicates that you will achieve the same goal regardless. What assets Pete owns? Index funds and ETFs. Pete states that he saves 50% of his income, which he invests in index funds or ETFs. By 2010, 5 years after his retirement, he had $450,000 sitting in an index fund. He said, "You don't need to have millions or thousands of dollars to get started." He also mentioned that stocks deliver a solid and consistent return over decades, and it is truly a passive way to set yourself up for the best kind of retirement, one where you do the work you love, but you really don't need the money. With index funds and ETFs, you can create an income stream that has a predictable payment schedule. The MMM World Headquarters. That's the Mr. Money Mustache headquarters. This is a property he bought for just a little over $200,000 and transformed it into a money-making machine. While most of his money went into index funds and ETFs, the rest went into real estate. He took it a step further by creating the MMM headquarters, a co-working space where finance-centered people come together. The best part is that you pay a monthly membership fee of $50 to be a member. With only 50 members, he could draw in $30,000 a year. He invested this money into expanding his index funds portfolio. Blog. After retiring, he set up his Mr. Money Mustache finance website to share his story. His blog drew in millions of monthly visitors and people actively interested in how he lived frugally and was able to retire so early on so little. He claims that with millions of monthly web visitors, he made $400,000 in 1 year through affiliate links and partnerships. Since he is not considering selling his blog now or in the future, he will keep earning from those affiliate links for years to come. He lives off the amount and reinvests the funds to secure investments in ETF and index funds, increasing the dividends he receives annually. Mortgage-free house. Mr. Money Mustache once said on his blog, "Once you own your home outright, you're basically saving tons of money you'd otherwise spend on rent or a mortgage. That freed up cash that can be invested for early retirement, used for travel, or simply enjoyed as financial security." He also mentioned that first, you don't just live in a home, you own it, automatically boosting your net worth. And since real estate appreciates, your net worth automatically appreciates. His family. Pete didn't just live frugally and save 50% of his income, he taught his wife and son how to do the same too. He emphasized that as long as in just 7 to 10 years, you would have successfully retired, built a great portfolio to last a long time, helping you retire, and may as well have been mortgage-free. That's it. Pete's investment philosophy. Consistent investing. Pete believes early retirement and achieving a never-broke-again portfolio is all about investing consistently. Over time, it adds up. Even after he retired, he never stopped investing. As long as he makes money that covers his expenses, he dumps that balance into his investment portfolio. This keeps him financially secure. Responsible withdrawal. Pete follows the 4% rule, otherwise known as the 4% safe withdrawal rate, or the SWR. With this rule, he withdraws only 4% of the total money invested annually. This ensures he never extinguishes his portfolio, even with inflation. Again, this is another reason he opts for index funds and ETFs, as they appreciate covering for any inflation. With the 4% withdrawal rate, he will always have money and will never run out of money. Portfolio diversification. Mr. Money Mustache didn't only rely on index funds to ensure he beat future inflation. He went into real estate and dabbled in digital real estate like his blog. Hence, his investment portfolio is made up of different investments that balance each other. Targeting investment vehicles that require minimal work. Index funds. Blog about his hobbies. Real estate with membership fee. All of these demand little work to maintain. Pete believes retirement means nothing when you have to work as hard as you did before retirement. So, he goes for investment vehicles that demand little to no work. Pete went with index funds because even with his 4% withdrawal and dividend yields, his portfolio will keep growing even with $0 investment. This works so well because it's about having a steady stream of passive income combined with assets that keep growing. Money habits Pete avoids. Cryptocurrency. Mr. Money Mustache is not a believer in Bitcoin. He said, "These are all things that people have bought in the past and driven to completely irrational prices, not because they did anything useful or produced any money and value to society, but solely because they thought they would be able to sell them to someone else for more in the future." No car for short commutes. In cases where he needed a car to commute, Pete opts for Uber or Lyft. He doesn't use his car, again, to save as much for not only gas but also parking space. Costco over Whole Foods and natural grocers. Pete doesn't shop at either Whole Foods or Natural Grocers, two popular grocery stores. He claims their prices are twice the cost of Costco's. He recommends anyone looking to cut their grocery bill should either shop at Costco or stores with similar pricing. Solar over regular electricity. He avoids paying local power bills by building solar panels for his home. He doesn't opt for solar panels because they're cheaper. He also says he went all in for it because it provides energy that is no noise and pollution-free living.